So inheriting a property can be an absolute blessing, but also an entangled web you have to get through. In this video, I've got my good friend, attorney Al Nicoletti. He's a Florida probate attorney. We're gonna discuss, can you sell an inherited property before probate? Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. We're gonna be talking about several points about being able to sell inherited property before the probate. Is it possible? And then also we got one little quick ninja tip for you at the end, and Al's gonna tell you about this, but you might even be able to sell the property before probate is even finished. Let's go. What's going on, Al Nicoletti? How are you today?
Brent Bowers, it's a beautiful day in Florida. I'm so happy to see you as always.
It is a beautiful day, and we're on Zoom for this recording. You're actually 3 hours north of me, so we're not too far from each other, actually, but this is just the best way this works out on a Friday. The world has changed. It's all virtual, so why drive and waste fuel when it's $5 a gallon?
But it's always good seeing you even in person. So,
Yeah.
and this is what's amazing about what we're doing, right? We're providing all that value to all the listeners out there.
Absolutely. Well, I get this question all the time. We buy a lot of houses, and land is my kind of cup of tea, but a lot of people inherit land and houses, and they come to us and they want to sell it sometimes before the probate even happens. And we hook them up with great people like you to walk them through that process. But I'll let you answer that question. Can you sell an inherited property before probate?
Great question. And I get that all the time too. And it's funny because I hear the question and I think two things, right? Can you sell the property before the probate begins? And I also hear, can you sell the inherited property before the probate ends? It's really interesting. I hear both. So we'll start with the first one. Can you sell the property before the probate begins? Now, whatever state you're in, if you're not in Florida, check with your local attorneys and jurisdictions there about how things work with probate. And more importantly, check with title insurance, because at the end of the day, you're trying to get the deal closed and find out how to get that thing done. So the big picture, though, is in Florida, you can't get that property sold until the probate is done. And what's going to get in the way is title insurance and a judicial determination of heirs. So let's just say mom owns that property. There's 4 kids ever. In order for you to buy the property and in order for them to sell that property, there needs to be a court order, some kind of declaration that they are the heirs. So before that property can be sold, title insurance is going to say, well, wait a second, we want to make sure all 4 of you are declared the heirs. Once that process is done, let's just say now we get the court orders, it's done, the homestead orders in, or the order summaries in, whatever it is. At that point, then it gets recorded. Title insurance updates the title commitment, puts all those children or all those heirs on that title. And now at that point, they can then sell the property because that satisfies requirements. It's amazing, Brent, because people think, oh, we'll just get the court order and that's it. At the end of the day, what does it take to close? You're trying to satisfy title insurance requirements, right? So did you have a take on that?
No, I just wanted to make sure everyone knows, like, what is title insurance? We go to a title insurance company usually to exchange real estate. I'm going to buy your house, Al. You and I are going to go to land title insurance company, and they are going to search those property records, all liens, encumbrances. Has the chain of title, been passed through, correctly? Are the actual owners still alive? And what's needed to transfer this title to make sure that there's no liens, encumbrances, back taxes, or issues 30 years from now? The buyer, me, can have quiet enjoyment forever, basically. And then they will give you a title insurance policy that you pay for. If they miss any of that stuff, you get basically paid to correct it, or a payment, or sometimes it could literally be what the property costs you. So title insurance is very important. Going to title insurance companies is very important to do this properly. Like, let's just say, Al, you want to sell me your mom's house. She left it to you in her will, and you and I just gave you 100 grand. You give me the deed to the property. Man, that could be a clouded title, and many things could go wrong with that. Because one, you didn't go through probate, or maybe it was in a trust. Maybe it's super simple, but I always recommend going to a title insurance company. So I just wanted to kind of stop you on that, but or just explain that, not stop you, but interrupt you there.
Hey guys, I hope you're getting tremendous value from this. Smash that like button, and also if you really want to show me the love, hit that subscribe button too. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps a poor, broke YouTuber just like me gain way more value in the actual algorithm of YouTube. Thanks again. Let's keep going.
And take it one step further though, Brent. Let's just say now you bought the property and then you try to sell it to Bob. And let's say Bob wants to buy it.
Bob the buyer?
Bob the buyer. He wants to take that contract, you bring it to title, and Bob's title company is going to say, well, wait a second, you need to go back and do the probate that's over here. So just because you think that, you've done it the right way, you've got the deeds, there's a procedure to this. And that's why you got to really get with people that go through this, like Brent. He goes through this all the time when it comes to deals, whether land or homes. So you got to get with experts that understand what happens, right? So here's the other thing I hear in the question. I think this is a great bonus too, which is, can you sell inherited property before the probate ends? And that's a key distinction, right? Because what we're assuming is that the probate already began. And wait a second, do we need to wait for the probate to finish for there to be a sale of property? And the answer is no. You don't have to wait for that probate to be done. And you're thinking, well, what does that mean? So Brent, here we go. Mom owns the property, 4 kids ever. Date of death is a year ago. So in Florida, at that point, we have to do an evaluation of these known or ascertainable creditors. We ask these things. So let's just say the kid says there's 18 creditors: Visa, MasterCard, Home Depot, Comcast, Ascension Point. All these people have claims or mailing the house. Well, what we have to do as lawyers is say, well, we got to name all these people, serve them with certified mail, and give them 30 days. And then, Brent, you come to me and say, well, Al, we don't have 30 days. The auction's in 2 weeks. How do we address that, right? Yeah. So that's where it gets creative, where there's a way we can file the probate and then ask the judge to say, any money from the sale of that property, we will hold in trust until the creditor period is served. So what does that mean? That allows the sale of the property to go forward, but the heirs don't get their money until the back end of that. So the answer is yes, the inherited property gets sold, but the probate's still open, which means you can get it sold before the probate ends. And that's a big thing. A lot of people think, Brent, that you got to wait the whole thing. Yes. There's some counties that may have different rules that you got to wait the whole period. You never know what the judge is going to say at that point. But we've seen it time and time again where there's that opportunity to get that property sold and keep the probate open.
Oh man, that's pure gold. And thank you so much for sharing that. I mean, I didn't even know that too. So, hey, where in the world can people find you? They're going through probate, or they've got some questions, or they're in Florida. Like, how do they get in touch with you?
Yeah, one of the best ways is you can find me on social media. My YouTube channel is under Al Nicoletti. I have a Facebook page and a business page under Al Nicoletti, and my Instagram, love Instagram, @Attorney Nicoletti. And you can find the Al Nicoletti Show on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play. It's all out there.
I love it. I love it. It's also going to be in the description below. And guys, if you've got a property like this, a piece of land, or a house, or a mobile home, apartment complex, we see this all the time in my land and house buying company. I want you to head over to ZechBuysHouses.com and reach out to us. We're here to help. We connect you no matter what state you're in with a great probate attorney, or maybe you don't even need probate. Maybe this is overkill and we can still walk you through the process, hook you up with a great title and insurance company, and maybe we'll even buy the house from you.
All right, guys. So I have a house buying company. We also buy land. We also buy mobile homes, and we buy this all over the country. And if we don't buy the property, we might know someone that would be interested in buying your property. So if you have a property for sale that you inherited and you're going through probate, we can even help you out with the probate. I want you to go on over to ZechBuysHouses.com. Again, that's ZechBuysHouses.com. Fill out the property form, like your address and your phone number, and Jen or Chrissy will reach out to you. They're amazing, and you'll be in absolute great hands. And a lot of people ask me, like, how did you come up with the name Zech Buys Houses? So it was like 2015 time frame. Me and my wife were like writing letters in our basement, like to homeowners, to see if they wanted to sell their house. And she was pregnant with our son Zechariah, and we're like, we've got to name this business, because we've done multiple land buys and house buys, and we still were doing it in my personal name. And we just called it Zek Buys Houses. Or actually, my wife came up with the name. I can't even take credit, but I was like, what do we call this company? She goes, call it Zek Buys Houses. And he wasn't even born yet. So now we have multiple other kids, so we need to start opening some more companies like Harper Buys Homes or something. But that's the story. Head on over to ZekBuysHouses.com. We've got over 100 video testimonials of people we've already served, and hopefully you got tons of value from this video. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so now.